I hope everybody had a happy holidays. First time I spoke to everybody since before Thanksgiving. I know it was an odd time for everybody and being away from your families. And me, I actually had COVID. So I'm back. Welcome back. Do me a favor, send your messages to your mamas, to your daddies. Tell them we back live again this evening. We're so excited to be back, and we'll give you that second to do that. And when you come back, we're gonna start the show. All right? Love y'all. You know what? I guess we're not moving to another thing. We're gonna move directly to Coach, to the beautiful, to the exquisitely talented, to the insightful, to the empathetic Coach Bonnie Sadigh. We couldn't even wait to get her back to y'all. Coach Bonnie, how you doing, love?
I'm doing well, Anthony. So good to have you back. How are you doing?
Oh man, I'm divine. I'm so divine. Thank you.
So
How are
glad,
you?
so glad, so glad you are well. You are back. You uh, did it, and with flying colors. You got over COVID, and couldn't be
Yeah.
happier to see your smiling face.
Yeah, I got my crown. You know the word corona means crown as in coronation. And the word COVID means with vision.
That's
So,
right.
like I ended, and it's interesting that COVID hit so hard in the year of 2020, which is a year that stands for vision, and 19 is the number before 2020. So, in order for people to receive their vision and have their visions open for a lot of people, COVID was necessary, and to receive their
Definitely.
crowns.
Yes, yes, and in a way, we need to be awakened, not be afraid of it, but to see other possibilities among during the pandemic and during COVID. What can we learn from it? How can I grow from it?
Yeah,
What can I? How can I elevate myself to higher potentials for me and for the planet, for the higher good? So yes,
yeah,
instead of being in panic mode and being stuck and stagnant and not knowing how to move forward, it is our duty as people to realize that yes, it is a very unprecedented time. It's very difficult. People are dying, people are in pain, people are losing their jobs, people are not having money to put food on the table. Yes,
yeah,
there are all of these uh, heartbreaking situations, and at the
yeah.
same time,
And the funny thing is even when it's not critical, like for instance, my family, my aunt, right before I got it, ironically, she had went to the ICU with COVID and with pneumonia, and it wasn't, and she was already a diabetic, and it wasn't the COVID that really kicked her, but it opened the door for the other things, for the other ailments to have a greater effect on her. And then for me, I was basically asymptomatic when I got COVID, like. I had low energy. I slept a lot, but I honestly, truth be told, I probably needed it because my average in my regular life, I probably sleep maybe 3 or 4 hours at a night if I'm lucky sometimes. So, but I had no other actual symptoms. Like I didn't like I had my taste buds. I
oh,
didn't
good.
have any body pains, no fevers, no cough. I just basically, but I still had to isolate so from the
Yes.
rest of the world. So my business, so like business wise and financially, I ended up, and also relationally, I actually my financial and relational health, uh, and to a certain extent my environmental health were affected, even if my physical health wasn't as affected as much as other people's. So it's interesting that even as this was going on, that we got to remember how it affects all these other aspects of people's health. Sometimes even when they don't get sick.
Exactly, exactly. Even see, I think when you said you were asymptomatic and you had to stay home, it's the time that probably you went inside, the time
Mhm.
that you had to yourself to think and to reflect what is important in my life. How can I make
Mhm.
myself better? what can I do to be a better person, to be a better version of myself? And it's the time that we really need to sit back and analyze what is important to me,
Mm-hmm.
not just for me, but as a whole. I mean, this
Yeah.
pandemic, I think, is showing us that we are not invincible first, and uh, we're not a unit by ourselves. We are connected
Mm-hmm.
to each other. Okay, and as we are connected to each other, how can we collectively awaken our consciousness and bring our consciousness to a higher level so that we can all learn and move forward from this? Because,
Mm-hmm.
we can stay in the panic mode. I mean, there's a talk that California can shut down again. New York is shutting down. Other states are shutting down slowly, slowly back to lockdown. And people are really getting frustrated. They're getting fed up, and not only physically but emotionally and mentally. Everyone is drained, including myself. Uh, but at the same time, we need to step out of the panic mode. We need to step into our power. We need to step into
Mm-hmm.
resilience and see the other side of the equation, because certain uncertainty is part of our lives. And
Mm-hmm.
we kind of, in when we before COVID, we had a routine, and we uh, had an illusion of having certainty. But we never
Yeah.
really, if we truly live, we never have that certainty. Life is uncertain. Life is
Of that.
unpredictable. Say it again.
One example of that for me. One example of that for me, even right now, is you saw me go. The viewers might have seen me going to the side. Is right before I got kicked with COVID, I got convinced to take a puppy, and I like, like I wasn't ready for a puppy, but the puppy really needed me and he really needed a home. And right at the throes of my low energy and COVID, I had a wild puppy thrown into my lap. So like even right now while I'm doing this show, which call it, pup, she has something in her mouth. Like I'm like, okay, what do you have in your mouth? So I have to go and remove, take it out of her mouth, so she's not chewing something that she doesn't have to be. So like sometimes there's uncertainties and little wild cards that are thrown into our lives. Sometimes they're wild cards that are negative. Sometimes they're wild cards that have positives and negatives, like that little critter down there. And
Exactly. And
sometimes,
you know what?
yeah, but
That puppy probably was or is the blessing in disguise, because instead of
yeah.
you focusing on your illness and on yourself and on why me, or I'm sick, and focusing on yourself and the illness, you had to shift the focus and take care of someone else.
Yeah, I had to get out and get fresh air. I had to take little walks, even when I absolutely did not feel like it. When I just wanted to be at the house and just lay down and not get up and do anything else, it forced me to get up and get a little exercise. Forced me to get
and
up
that
and
and
get some
that
fresh
little
air.
exercise probably did you a lot of good, because exercise and getting the fresh air and oxygen into your lungs is actually good for you. Now, I'm a little bit
Exactly.
um, kind of frustrated and annoyed that why uh, the guidelines or the CDC or people in charge are not telling us, or are not showing us or advising us how to take care of ourselves. They're telling us to put masks
Yeah.
on and to stay 6 feet apart and to quarantine and do all kinds of uh, precautionary things, but yet a very important component in keeping yourself safe is physical activity, reducing your
Exactly.
mental and
Sunlight.
emotional sunlight, getting daily exercise. It does a body a lot of good. We need
Nutrition.
that oxygen.
Nobody's talking about nutrition.
Nutrition,
One thing I've noticed.
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly
one thing I've
nutrition.
noticed is that people who have worse diets, people who have diets who use like a lot, who eat lots of meats, who eat lots of high fructose corn syrups, and do all of those things. I've been finding that people who had worse diets in general are the people who tend to lose their sense of smell and sense of taste more
More.
amongst the people I've been talking to, and like a lot of my friends who have generally like good diets, I'm a pescatarian diet, hardly ever drink soda, and mostly just drink juices and waters. So and like I never lost my sense of smell, my sense of taste. And then my friends who eat all kinds of processed foods constantly, who drink lots of sodas, who drink lots of red meats and eat lots of red meats. I'm not sure if they're drinking red meat. If they are, that's a
No,
whole nother type of
that
diet that I
that
don't know
didn't
about.
sound that great. Oof.
Yeah, but they have like, but those are my friends who tend to had more of the taste buds and sense of smell issues.
You
And
are
I
absolutely right.
I found that really interesting. Have you
Yes,
like heard anything about that?
definitely poor diet increases your chances of having more symptoms. Absolutely. And nobody's
Yeah.
talking about taking supplements, vitamin D, vitamin
Yes, I
C.
took so many. Oh my God. I was so during COVID, I was taking chaga. I was taking zinc, of course. I
Good for
added
you.
more vitamin C to my diet. I was taking elderberry. I was doing black seed
Yes,
oil,
yes.
echinacea.
Absolutely.
Ginseng. Like I was adding I would already take supplements, but I added so many more, and also did vibrational sound therapy,
There's
which
so
is
many things. There's so many holistic ways and natural ways that we can protect ourselves that no one is talking about. And I have also,
exactly.
adding to the list that you were saying, I have two essential oils that I use daily when I go out. I put just a tiny tad inside of my mask and I put the mask on. One
Please,
is
which oils are they?
thieves. One is thieves. The second one is grave
Can you
robber.
spell that, please?
Thievs, like thieves.
Thieves. Okay.
Yeah. And then the
Okay.
second one is grave robber, just like grave robbers.
Grave robber.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know how that mixture came
You know, that
about?
was Amir's old job. That's what Amir used to do. Like that was what Amir wanted to be when he was a kid.
But yes,
But he the
and
dream. He
grave,
gave up on the dream of being a grave robber, and decided to be
yes.
a film producer and TV producer instead.
Yeah. So when grave diggers and grave robbers back in the day wanted to go to the cemeteries and dig the graves up, they made this concoction and this mixture in order not
Hmm.
to get any germs,
Get sick.
not to get sick.
Okay.
So I put
Do you
that.
know what's do you know what some of the things are in the concoction?
Uh, I know there. Are, I'm not sure. Actually, hold on a second. Hold on a second.
And do you know what part of do you know what part of the world it originated?
Uh, it's a mixture of things. I don't. I mean, this one that I bought, I don't know. Since it's a mixture, I don't think it's a particular has a
Hmm.
origin. Uh, doesn't say, or when if it does, it's so small I can't read it. But I can send it. I can send it to you guys, and you can
Okay.
put it up. And
Okay.
I think these
At first,
are
I thought the title was like, if you take this, you're robbing the grave from yourself. Like you take this, the grave's not gonna get you. You know, like you're robbing the grave.
that
The grave
too.
isn't gonna get you
That
anytime
too.
soon.
But the main point to take from this is that there are a lot of natural and holistic ways that you can protect yourself. You can boost your immune system. You can reduce stress and anxious thoughts. And you're dealing with that puppy, huh? I want to see the puppy now.
Yes.
So going back to how we don't want to stay in panic mode during these uncertain times is to focus our attention and take actually take our focus away from uh, the pain and the suffering. And by taking our focus away, we are not saying that they don't
Mm.
exist. We're not
Yes.
saying that they don't matter. Yes, it's painful. It's heart wrenching. It really is affecting all of us. Uh, and yet there is another side to all of it. If we
Yeah.
And I believe in power of collective positiveness. What do I mean by
Mm.
that? Like power of prayer. If we
Yes.
all collectively put our attention on the panic, on the negative, on what is going to happen, or on the uncertainty, on the death and the pain, that is the collective energy that we are giving out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Now, if we shift our mindset, if we shift it to possibilities, opportunities, resilience, uh, learning from the situation, then what happens is that we are collectively putting out positive vibration energy out there. And that is
Mm-hmm.
what we are going to get more of. See, because at any
Yeah.
given moment, we can fill our mind with negative or fill our mind with positive. And by filling
Yeah.
the mind with the positive, I'm not suggesting that we're forgetting about the negative. I'm not suggesting
It's
that the
focus.
misery and the pain and the death is not important or it doesn't exist. We're not negating it. We're just shifting
Yeah.
our attention. Yes,
Yeah.
this
Shifting our
exists.
focus.
Exactly. This exists, and yet I can do X, Y, and Z. Uh, I can be a different way of thinking. I can do different things. I can focus my attention to how I can be more productive. What can I do to uh, find another job? How to be out of the box. See,
Yeah. Just like for instance, you as a parent, I'm sure there were times where where you'd be sitting there cooking. You'd be focusing on. There'd be dinner going. There'd be music playing in the background. There'd be the kids someplace doing something. You're like, but like, and like maybe you're sitting there working on your taxes at the same time. Even though the other stuff is going on, you have your focus on what you're focused on, even though you're aware of everything else and around you. That's
exactly,
the same. That's the same way we must be with our positivity. Even though we're
exactly,
aware of all of the determining factors around us, where is our focus on? Oh, and we spoke earlier
exactly.
about grave diggers, grave robbers. When you're walking around with Dr. Sadiq, do they call him a cradle robber?
I didn't get the question. I'm sorry.
When you're walking around with Dr. Sadiq, do they call him a cradle robber?
Yes. That's funny. That is funny. Now, going back to what you were saying about being parents and children, our children are watching us. If we are
Yes.
showing panic, if we are showing worry, and if we are
Mm,
stagnant in our panic, the kids, the children, are absorbing the
mm,
energy. They're
yeah.
learning that when some challenging times comes my way, I don't know how to handle it because my parents froze, because my parents
Does that create a
panicked.
pattern of anxiety? Does that create a pattern of
Yes,
anxiety for children? Yes. Okay.
absolutely, absolutely, because they feel the uncertainty in the household. They feel the
Hmm.
energetic mayhem of the household. Uh, Children
Yeah.
are like sponges. They
Yeah.
more than what we tell them to do, or the way we verbalize something to them.
Yeah.
They pick up from our energy, and they observe, they see how we are. Okay.
One example I would say of that just in life, like back before Berkeley, I used to train dogs as part of it was my side hustle as a kid. And one of the things I would always do is I would do pack training, where I wouldn't just train the pet, I train the owners and the family as well, because oftentimes with so many behavioral problems with dogs, are because they're unsure of where they resolve in the pack. And oftentimes, when dogs are aggressive, it's because they're not strong, because they don't have enough confidence in the pack leader, that the pack leader will protect them and and handle the situation. And like, so there's like this a little, they're not sure who the pack leader is. But when a dog
Exactly.
is confident and comfortable in
Exactly.
who's in the pack leader, then they're not aggressive towards other dogs. They're not aggressive towards other people because they follow a lead. And in our families do the same thing with the leaders of the family. Our friend
Absolutely.
groups do
And when the
the same
dog,
thing with the alphas of our friend groups.
exactly, and when the dog feels the owner, it's not fearful and it's in with confidence, the dog obeys. But once the dog feels that the owner is scared and fearful and not
Yes.
100% in their power, they attack or they misbehave. So that exactly same situation with children. What is he playing with? I want to see him.
So, something that she's not supposed to play with. Come here.
Oh,
I'll bring you up one for a second. Come here. Come on. I'll show you real quick.
yes. This is the beauty of doing things that. Oh my God,
This is
she is
Nami.
adorable. She's gonna be a big one.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
old is the
she'll be
puppy?
big. She's
Oh,
just under 6 months, almost 6 months.
what's her name?
Her name is Nami. Her
Nami.
television
You're
debut.
a beautiful puppy, Nami. Oh,
Yeah, the problem is she knows how
Nami
cute she is, so
wants
she
some
tries to use it
attention.
to get away. Yeah, she tries to use it to get away with things. I was like,
Yes,
it's not gonna
yes.
work with me, Nami. It's not gonna work.
To some extent, it will.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
takeaway is be responsible for your health, take all the precautions, do physical activity, eat well, take your supplements,
Hmm.
get outside, get some natural vitamin D, get the stress level down, meditate, breathe, and shift your focus from the
Now
misery
add
and the
another one. Also, check in with your friends and loved ones. Make
absolutely.
sure to do that. Make sure to do that, because even like right now, as we're moving towards a more isolation again, that
Yes,
isolation is going to be hard for some people. So make sure, even if it's not as hard on you, but like and it may be harder than you even realize. So take that
yes,
opportunity to reach out to people that you love. Make sure that they know that you are here for them. And if you are creative at all, take that time once again to, go ahead and work on some more creative projects. Take that time to check out a new audiobook, a new regular book,
yes,
catch up on a show that you've been wanting to catch up on. Like
yes,
while we're
yes.
taking these
Think
opportunities,
outside of the
take
box.
exactly, and use these opportunities to once again grow. Um, like it's all about perspective, and like it's all about the way you view things. Are you looking
Exactly.
at it as something detrimental, or is it something of an opportunity? Oftentimes in life, things are both. When like if you can't go through door number three, but door number one and two are still open for you. Like the
And
old game
here's
shows. Oh,
and
I
here's
love
my
her
baby.
socks. What's her name?
Milo.
What's her name?
Milo.
Milo.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's the
Gorgeous
one,
socks.
he's the one always walking around and napping on my toes.
Tap dancing on the shows.
Tap dancing on my, yeah.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
gorgeous.
It's
How old?
all about our perspective, and we've
How
been
old is
here
Milo?
before, not in this form, not with this pandemic and this virus, but we have uh, been in different challenges, we have been in difficult times, and we have made it, and we have thrived, and we can do this only
Yeah.
if we shift our mindset and not focus
I,
only on the negative, but think
yeah.
about the
I
positives
know one
of
thing we don't
of
talk
it.
about often on this show. Are you like astrology? Like I'm into astrology as well, and I know Amir is not a big astrology person. Our producer, what's up, Amir? What you call it? Ha ha. We love you, but we're gonna talk about it right now. There's so many amazing things that are shifting. Like
Yes,
there's like the last month ended on an eclipse, on a lunar eclipse, and then there's like another full eclipse on the 14th of this month, and then
yes,
Saturn and Jupiter go conjunct for like the first time in forever at 0 degrees. Like there are so many interests on the 21st. There are so many interesting things and going on astrologically. And there's like the
yes,
old term that's in all religions, as above, so below, and then back again. And I'm just really curious to see how if the way that it's affecting different people, even during the eclipse on the full moon. I know so many people who are all deep into their emotions and who are being forced into looking at things internally that they might not have felt like dealing with, and really delving with their subconscious, with their subconscious was making their conscious mind feel some sort of way. So they really had to delve with some of those things that they had pushed into that subconscious closet, you know? And I know
absolutely.
you love talking about the subconscious mind.
The thing that I suggest is not to push it aside. Allow the
Yes.
emotions to come up. See what
Yes.
the emotions are telling you. Accept the emotions. Sometimes we need to surrender. Sometimes we need to accept what is our reality right now at this moment and what I can do. Sometimes we need to let go of the things that we cannot control, and that is okay. Focus your attention on the things that you can control. Focus your attention on your personal universe and make that an amazing uh, personal universe that you can live in at any moment. And from there, definitely the energy that you put out goes out to the universe, and it has a ripple effect
Hmm.
all throughout. So don't fight with your emotions. Get in touch with them, see what they're saying, accept them, and move forward from there.
Hmm. Exactly. I was working on like a concept not too long ago. I was calling it the 3 T's of trauma. I'll talk about it like a little bit later, which call it like the first one was what was the first T? It basically meant to access, to take a full, to take a chord. And sometimes when we listen to our traumas, we got to see, all right, what is it telling us? Do we agree with what it's telling us? Is it telling us is it telling us an outdated truth, or is it telling us a truth that affects the way that we are? And then
Right
based
now.
on that
Yes,
information, based on whether it's the truth, or if it's a out or if it's no longer a truth, train
exactly.
ourselves when
Am I
when
in
these certain
danger
things
right
come
now at
up.
this moment? Am I in danger
Exactly. So
right
we
now
like
at this moment?
exactly. We have to like train our way to react when these traumas come up based on the information that we know, whether is it truth, or is it an outdated truth. And then the
Yes.
third thing is transmute it. Transmute that trauma. In alchemy, you turn lead to gold. Lead is
Mhm.
something that is actually poisonous to us. So we can turn something that had
Absolutely.
traditionally been poisonous to us, that no longer holds health, and we can transmute that into something that can help ourselves or help others, or turn it into some type of art, turn it into some type of program to help others. How do you transmute? How do you transmute that lead into something golden for
And the way we can
yourself and
transmute
for
that in
society?
ourselves is by shifting the mindset. Shifting the mindset is
Exactly.
the way we transmute. We We,
Exactly.
instead of thinking and focusing our attention on what is not working on the problem, we focus our attention on the solution and how we can make it
Hmm.
work. So that's how you turn poison into gold. How This is how you transform.
Exactly.
This is, yes, just a change of your mindset.
Change exactly. Change your mindset, change yourself, and then you change yourself, you change the world. It's
That's
all
right.
part of it's all part of a chain. And
That's
like I think therefore I am. We've heard that before. And as I think, as I am. And
that's
it's so important for us, and we've spoke about this before, to change our words, especially in a time period for like this. Like even when I was going through COVID, I wouldn't say that I refused to use the words I was sick. That was like those are words that I refused to use because I didn't want to put that energy into
energy.
my body.
Good for you.
Yeah, and like what you
For
call
you.
it,
I'm so
it
grateful you are well, you are back, and you are even more wise than before, and you have even more beautiful words to share with us. So thank you for who you
uh,
are.
I love you, and I'm so happy to be back with you. I was like, Coach Bonnie is
Yes.
my first person back with Bonnie, back with Bonnie,
I think I was the last
back
one
with
before you
Bonnie,
went.
back with Bonnie.
I think I was the last one you interviewed before you found out you had COVID, and I'm the first one back after your COVID. So
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. So like, see how the world goes round and round, y'all.
that's
We
right.
go
That's
full
right.
circle. How was your
Good to have you
Thanksgiving?
back.
I didn't
Thank you
like.
so much.
Excuse me for not asking.
Thanksgiving
How was it?
Thanksgiving was really nice. We went to my sister-in-law in San Diego. We did
Mm-hmm.
it outside early enough so it wasn't that cold. We had
Uh huh.
she had them beautifully set, 6 feet apart, each family on their own table, and
Oh
it
wow.
was beautiful. It was really nice. It was great to see some family members. I definitely miss
Yes.
my own family. My whole family is back east, and I haven't seen them in
Mm-hmm.
over a year.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
that's difficult, actually.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And
uh, kids are growing up, nieces are growing up. Life is moving forward, and yet it feels like you're missing a part of their lives and your life
yeah.
together. Uh,
Yeah. I hadn't been
and
home for years for Thanksgiving, and I was planning on going this year, but I kicked in with COVID, and then my aunt had COVID before that, so I was like, well, I guess I won't see my family this year for the holidays either. I'm sorry,
yeah,
finish up.
so that's, as
So I
sad as it
empathize.
is, it's the reality that we live in. So what we do, we have like a
Yeah.
group text and WhatsApp chat, and all of us, like 10, 12 of us, get together, we talk, we share
Mm.
funny stories, and sometimes during the day we're just texting like we are next to each other. What are you cooking? Or it's too cold, I took the bike out. Just little things that feels like you are even though you are uh, apart from each other, it feels that you're
Yeah.
still part of their daily lives. So those are the
Yes.
ways that we keep connected, and I hope that people find, as you said, people find ways to keep connected even though we can't
Hmm.
physically be with each other this year.
I have a question. The more wine people drunk throughout the course of the day, did the stories get funnier?
Okay. Is that
Did
a
the stories
question
get
or a
funnier the more
statement?
wine? Yeah, yeah. I had a question was like when you were like talking with the family over a thing, like the more wine people drunk throughout the course of the night, did the stories
That's
start getting
true.
funnier and
That's true.
funnier?
Sometimes, yes, sometimes we, sit and have a glass of wine maybe together, or yeah, just silly things, little things that allow us to be in each other's lives and somehow keeps us close to each other.
Yes,
But yes,
beautiful.
so Thank you. Thank you. And
I'm
where
glad you
is
had a
your
beautiful Thanksgiving with your family.
Anthony? Where is
My
your
family, the majority of them are in Fresno. The majority of my
Okay.
family is in Fresno, but because of my schedule is so busy, I don't get to visit them that often. Some of them may, when they make it to LA, I'll see them. But I was planning on heading down there this year, especially. I also have some other people in my family who are extremely have like other like cancer and stuff. So I wanted to be there for them, like for this Thanksgiving for sure. And
Mm,
not being able to be down there this year when I actually planned to go down there, it was a little bit harder, but I knew it was the right decision for everybody's health. So that made
yes,
it easier because I knew it was just the prudent, respectful, and responsible decision.
exactly.
And
Exactly.
oftentimes in life, we have to make decisions not for our own selfish wants, but for the needs of the community as a whole.
Absolutely. Beautifully said. And by the way, the music segment before we came on, that was awesome. You are good.
Oh, thank
That was
you.
really
I
good.
appreciate it. Yeah, I'm recording something on Saturday for this. I'm doing a 50-minute set that's going to be airing on a stream on the 12th. That's going to raise money for this huge Native American charity.
Oh,
Recording
how
that
beautiful.
on the 5th. Yeah, and then I'm doing another event that I'm actually going to be recording on the 12th. That's with a bunch of people, like a bunch of super producers for this other really big stream. That's for Desert Heart Stream. It's about like that stream. I think it's about like 20,000 people live. Check that stream when
Nice.
that one comes on. So yeah,
Beautiful.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm glad I kept my lung capacity throughout the course of everything. That's another thing I actually did, and I think it's another thing that helped me with my lungs. Chanting, vibrational chanting, and
Absolutely.
ohms
Yeah,
and things like that are so good for your lungs and for your body. That's why cats get less cancer than other animals because their purr mimics an ohm,
the,
and that
yes,
vibration actually helps keep their body healthy.
yes.
So get
You
out there
said it.
if you're worried about the
We
COVID,
need to,
get your ohms in, get your
Anthony,
chanting in.
I think you and I need to make a list of all the holistic and natural ways that people can protect themselves and boost their immune system. And
We do.
definitely chanting is an amazing, amazing way to uh, expand the lung capacity. Yes.
Yes, and it also makes people focus on breathing. I know one thing you do with a lot of your NLP therapy is that you get people to focus on breathing. People ask what I do for a living. I say I breathe. We call it every breath is a blessing, and when I hold my breath, I'm holding my blessings. So,
Yes.
when we focus on our breath, as you and you can tell us more about how does focusing on your breath. What are some of the health benefits of that?
First of all, when you focus on your breath, you are you are living in the moment. You're not thinking about anything else. You're not thinking about the past. You're not thinking about the future. When you're consciously paying attention to your breath, you are in your body right now at this moment. And that clears the mind as well. So, sitting in meditation and doing breathing does exactly that. And what happens with meditation, with people that do have done long-term meditation, actually, there's scientific proof that the gray matter in the brain expands, and that the gray matter is the ability, the more ability we have to learn, to focus,
Hmm.
to be smarter, actually. So when we are focusing on our breath and clearing the mind, that part of the mind that is responsible for a fight or flight gets smaller, and the part
Yeah.
of the mind that is responsible for focus and learning
Hmm.
and expand.
Yeah.
So there are scientific research done that actually, when they take a brain scan for among the people that have done meditation over a certain period of time, they see the effect on the brain. Okay, so
Yes.
going back to the breath and focusing on now allows you to clear your mind. And when you clear
Yes.
your mind, that's where you allowing the unnecessary stuff to leave, and allows more room for positivity, for clarity, for focus, for learning,
Yeah.
for awakening.
You reminded me of that old In Vogue song. Clear your mind, free your mind, and your butt will fall. Remember that song,
That's
like
right.
from back in the days? We call it
That's right.
and thing about breath. And as far as your health, a couple years ago, they found out that they found another job that the lungs do. The lungs are actually the number one producer of white blood cells. For years, they thought it was your bones, but it's actually your lungs are your number one producers of white blood cells, which affect your immune system. So, having a more controlled breathing and focusing on your breathing makes your lungs um, it makes them act at their highest capacity and at their highest capabilities. And one of
That's
their jobs are actually creating white blood cells, which regulate your entire immune system. So proper
and
breathing
that's
will also increase your
yes.
health.
Sorry. Another thing, that when we are in panic mode, what we forget to breathe. Usually, when we are
Yeah,
stressed and panic, we tighten up our shoulders and we do shallow breathing, or we forget to do deep breathing, and that causes it causes us to be in this vicious loop of stress more and more. So
yeah,
it creates even more anxious thoughts. It creates even more stress.
yeah.
So by becoming aware of your breathing and allowing your breath to be conscious, slow and deep, you are eliminating or relieving some the stressors and the anxious thoughts.
Hmm. I'll tell you one
And
thing,
that
Dr.
was
Bonnie. You're like a
and that
breath.
was
You're like a
all.
breath of fresh air. You're like a breath of fresh air being back on air with you.
Thank you. You too. I'm so glad you're back. I miss you. I'm
Yes.
so glad
I
to
miss
see
you
that
too.
smile, that beautiful face, handsome face, healthy, vibrant.
Likewise.
Thank you. Take
I'm so
care.
excited to be back with you. Before you go, would you please do you have any last thoughts that you would love to give our viewers?
Yes, I would love for the viewers to connect with me on Instagram at Coach Bonnie NLP, and go visit my website, bonniesadigh.com. That's it.
Yes. NLP doesn't stand for naturally lovely person, but that is very true of Coach
Oh,
Bonnie.
I love that. I'm going to add that to the description. Thank you so much.
Love you, Coach Bonnie. Thanks again.
Love you too. Take care.
That was Coach Bonnie coming together with us, and we're so grateful for this woman's wisdom, for this woman's knowledge, and for her taking her time out of her busy, busy schedule. We are so happy to be back with y'all here on Togetherness Media. We hope that y'all enjoyed today's show. We love y'all for watching from all over the world. Man, we're so happy to be back. We missed y'all so much. As always, I would love to be divine, and you are loved, baby. We'll catch y'all next. Lots of content on the way. Keep watching the channel. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Though it's hard to say goodbye. Yes, I gotta go. We're about to switch over to the end of the show.
Gravity. Leon Morley, Modo House. And I'm Anthony Powers. Shouts out to the Know Your Rights camp. Know your rights out there, everybody. And make sure they don't get taken from you.
Motivated to move.